Good afternoon and welcome to the Seminole County Press Conference update on COVID-19. We're here in front of the Supervisor of Elections office here in Seminole County today. We're going to have the Supervisor that's going to talk to you about the upcoming elections and some of the things that they're doing. We're also going to have Dr. Walt Griffin from the Seminole County School System, who's going to be here to talk to you about what's going on in the school system. And I can't thank both of these gentlemen enough on behalf of the community on how much good work they've done, not only for the elections process, but as well as the fantastic work the school folks have done for our school children and the community as a whole. First, I'd like to thank the residents as well as all our business for their patience and their vigilance. We stand ready and waiting for directives to come down from the governor. Once that does occur, we will be meeting our task force to understand, interpret those, and move to the next level that we're permitted to do that. We continue testing today at Seminole State College with Allied Health. This will be the last day of the week for testing there at the college. Seminole State was expected to operate through the end of the week, but it's going to be cut short because we're expecting inclement weather tomorrow. We want to thank the American Muslim Clinic and Bueno Pharmacy. You can find times for testing that is also free. You can find that at prepareseminole.org. If you have questions related to any of that, you can also call our hotline at 407-665-0000. I also want to thank Allied Health, True Health, and the Muslim Clinic for their partnership in operating all these community test sites in Seminole County. All these agencies are nonprofit organizations that are giving back to the community and helping the community with these tests. So we appreciate that very much. Our website has additional information about 20 private providers offering COVID-19 testing as well as antibody testing. If you go to the website, prepareseminole.org, you can find that information. Again, if you have questions, 407-665-0000. We continue to support our long care facilities, healthcare providers, and first respond agencies with PPE. To date, we've provided 316,000 procedural masks, 37,000 N95 masks, and 170,000 gloves, among many other items. Seminole County did not meet the qualifying criteria of the 500,000 population count for federal CARES grant money. We've had a lot of requests about PPE for businesses. By example, there are counties within the state that did just barely meet the 500,000 criteria population, and they received $90 million. Ours is flowing through the state. We're still waiting for the state to determine what our prop share will be between those counties that fall below the 500,000 threshold. That was done by the federal government. As that becomes available, we will continue to update everybody on that. If you need PPE, we have a list of those vendors on prepareseminole.org. So if you're a business that is now operating or preparing to open, once the governor gives us the next level of opening businesses, then you will be able to find that information to get your protective personal equipment at prepareseminole.org. Earlier this week, the Board of County Commissioners meeting, which was Tuesday, we're continuing to hold that virtually. We approved $300,000 of funding to implement the COVID-19 rental, mortgage, and utility assistance program. This was approved so that we can help those at most need. As we've seen the economic downturn, we continue to see an uptick in those people needing, that help, rental assistance and so forth. We also want to thank all of our folks in the community that are helping with food and meals to those people in need, all the nonprofits out there. We've also had a lot of restaurants that had foodstuffs that have donated to Meals on Wheels, Harvest Time, and others to help fill that void. So as we see the economy continue to downturn, we saw the unemployment numbers again this week with another 3 million uptick. Here in Central Florida, we rely on a lot of tourist dollars coming in. Seminole County, we're not quite hit as hard as our fellow counties to the south in Osceola and Orange, but we still do rely on those tourist tax dollars. So as we move forward, we'll be evaluating that and looking at all financial ways and means to help not only the public, but the small business community. Community assistance has also waived the requirement of ongoing management and waiting period to help get folks help they need more expeditiously. So we've cut the red tape on those people that have needs. You can get that information by calling the county, or you can also get that data at prepareseminole.org, or again at the phone number 407-665-0000. With that, I'd like again to thank all of our businesses and our residents for being patient and so vigilant on helping the spread of the COVID-19 and flattening the curve. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our fine Supervisor of Elections, Mr. Christopher Anderson. Chris?
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate that. Today I'd like to talk to you about the vote by mail, the voter information card that all voters here in Seminole County should have received. It should be in your mailbox as of last week. That voter card was a pre-budgeted card that we already had planned to send out. We send it out every election cycle just to alert the voter to their information, let them know where to vote. And we creatively, and at no additional cost to the taxpayers, added a vote by mail request form to the bottom of the form. This can be returned very easily to our office. All you have to do is, once you remove your information from the mailer, you can complete the form at the bottom, as I have here. It's a bit windy to see it, but if you fold it over your information, you can return it back to us with a stamp. Now, to do a mail ballot request, you can call us on the phone. You can go to our website at voteseminole.org. And also, we only need a written request if you want your ballot sent to an address that is not on file with us. But at any rate, we still want all the voters to know that the choice is yours. There are 3 methods of voting: vote by mail, early voting, and election day. All those methods will be available in the primary and the general election. All of our sanitary practices will be in place as they were in the presidential preference, with the hand sanitizers. This time we're going to have our election workers will have the proper and the PPE, as it's referred to, gloves, mask, hand sanitizer. We will have wipes to wipe down all the voter services. We're actually putting together now, as we speak, the disposable stylus. This disposable stylus is essentially a Q-tip with aluminum foil wrapped around it. When the water is wet to the tip of the Q-tip, that transfers the static electricity from your body to the iPad and allows you to sign. This is used once by every voter that comes out to vote early or on election day. This is a sanitary way to make sure that no germs are transferred, and it's a very cost-effective way. I know just how much they cost because I'm going out and purchasing them myself. I appreciate all the stores that are allowing us to do this. Thank you very much. We're going to keep everybody safe when you decide to come out to the polls. We also are using disposable secrecy sleeves, so anything that you touch as a voter, it will be one use, so you don't have to worry if someone else touched it. One thing we do ask is, as we all social distance and we adhere to the occupancy rules that are in place, that you give us the same courtesy as we do when we go to the grocery stores and any other stores, because we will have to adhere to those rules as well. We will be social distancing. We will make sure that the voting booths are 6 feet apart so that there's no problems there. So we're going to do everything we can, no matter what method of voting you choose, whether it's vote by mail, early voting, or on election day, to keep you safe as you vote. And just a quick note for that mailer again, it is not mandatory that you vote by mail. Again, remember, the choice is yours. Lastly, I'd like to close with election workers. As we prepare for our elections in August, the election date in August is August 18th. Early voting will start August 8th through August 15th. The general election day is November 3rd. Okay? Early voting will start October 19th and conclude November 1st. Now, we'll need election workers, and we are currently accepting applications for election workers. If you go to voteseminole.org, just click on election worker, you fill out the very easy to complete application. We will contact you. On the application, it asks that you let us know what kind of qualifications you might have. If you're technically savvy, that's always a great thing. We have iPads, which are very user-friendly, so don't be afraid even if you're not. You will have to attend training, which is paid. These are paid positions. So if you go to voteseminole.org, click on election worker and fill out that application, we look forward to seeing you out there. And with that, I will turn it over to our great superintendent here in Seminole County, Walt Griffin.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to just give a few updates from Seminole County Public Schools. We continue to serve over 13,000 meals every day, Monday through Friday. And at this time, over 98.5% of our students are connected remotely and are doing the assignments that we need them to do. Something that is new to Seminole County as a result of this pandemic is I have put in place 4 task force to help guide myself and our school board. The task force are reopening, visioning, project management, and marketing. And I want to tell you a few things that they are working on as we prepare for schools to open in August. The reopening task force is focused on the physical and the emotional wellness of our students as well as our staff. We're looking at things such as social distancing. What does that really look like at a school? What does it look like on a bus? What does it look like at large events? How do we monitor our staff and our students for illness? What cleaning protocols have to be changed? And probably most important, what social emotional support do we have to have for the self-regulation and self-care for our students? And what mental health supports do we have to have available for our students? They're also looking at school operations. How are we going to schedule differently? We have plans A, B, C, and D. We don't think school will ever look exactly the same as it looked in February or March. It's going to look different. What are extracurricular activities going to look like? How about dining and transportation protocols? And what do we have to have in stock and readily available for our schools to be able to serve our children and our staff members? I know our seniors are out there. What a horrific day, a horrific way for our seniors to end their school year. High school seniors, please remember, we have 2 outdoor graduations planned for you. One on June 12th with a backup of July 17th. And also, we know you were disappointed because you missed your proms. We have senior dances planned for you on June 11th with a makeup on July 16th. In addition to that, and I know nothing replaces face-to-face, we also are planning a virtual graduation, but we hope to have the face-to-face, and the virtual graduation just becomes a nice electronic keepsake for you. So with all that being said, I cannot thank our school board enough for their support throughout this whole process. Mr. Zembower and the entire Board of County Commissioners, this community has been fantastic. Parents, I can't thank you enough. You became teachers overnight. Our teachers became distance learning teachers overnight. We appreciate that. And I want to remind our community, we have a virtual school. Our virtual school is 10 years old. If you're interested in a Seminole County virtual school, go to our website and learn some more about that. But we are going to have options available for you in August. We have a full summer school slate available. Please go to our website and check that out. And it's my pleasure to serve each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin, and thank you, Mr. Anderson, for your update for our voters out there. Also want to remind everybody that while you're waiting for things to open back up, visit 2020census.gov, fill out your census. Another great thing we can tell about our community here today, Seminole County is number 2 in the state for having filled out their 2020 census forms thus far. That's fantastic news. That speaks a lot about our community. It's important that you fill those forms out. You can do it online at 2020census.gov. That has a lot to do with the type of federal dollars and other assets that flow to the community to help everyone here in Seminole County. So with that said, I'll open it up for questions. Then we'll have our Spanish translation done by Mr. Freddie Gonzalez. So any questions for anybody?
Chris, I know that you've got a tight appointment at 2:30. Can I get a quick question with you?
Sure.
As far as poll workers, at the original primary, back in March, obviously it's a lower turnout because it's a primary. even the August primary will be a smaller number. Are you worried at all, since we have so much uncertainty on what's going to happen in the future, about having enough poll workers come November?
So that. So the question was our concern about having enough election workers for the upcoming elections. So that was something that we wanted to immediately address. What we do here in Seminole County is we overstaff for our for all 3 elections. So for the presidential preference, we were overstaffed. We had approximately 100 folks call off. A lot of the folks were recommended to do that because of their age, and then by their doctor recommended that they do that because of COVID-19. But we had alternates in place that were trained and that were ready to go. We also had help from our constitutional partners who lended help as well, and I'm very grateful to that. Now, as far as moving forward is concerned, I'll let the bike go by. As far as moving forward, I'm not concerned. I mean, we had dedicated election workers. Almost 600 election workers show up on election day and during early voting in the presidential preference that face the odds. And the biggest concern they had was, will we have personal protective equipment available for them when they come out in August and in November? And the answer to that question is yes. I'd like to thank our Emergency Operations Director, Alan Harris, for helping us with that. That's very important, and that's what I want anyone thinking about becoming an election worker to know, that we will have the proper equipment available, and that although we are concerned, we're looking forward to making sure that everybody's ready to work.
I've seen in other states where lines for elections, people have looked pretty tight. You're going to be enforcing, I'm assuming, 6-foot social distancing even when we come up to the November election?
That's correct. And we are aware of how the precinct is going to look. We actually turned our training room into a precinct and gave ourselves a visual of how we're going to walk through this and how we're going to address the concerns if those rules are still in place. And back to my earlier statement, we just ask that voters give us the same consideration that we give any other place that we go in public now that is required to social distance. You know, when I'm at Publix, you know, I have to stand almost back by the cereal just to check out because of the 6-foot social distancing. Those things may exist in August and November. And if that's the case, we'll get it done. We'll make sure that everyone has an opportunity to vote.
A question for Walt. How important or how crucial to your plans is the sales tax, lack of sales tax that's being collected during this period, into what staff is going to be available to be hired for next year? How important is that for your plans going forward?
The budget is very, very important. Really what drives the number of staff members that we have are what we call our FTE, our student full-time equivalents. So really the enrollment that we have is what drives our budget, which is what we'll use for funding.
So you don't anticipate any cuts or anything like that?
Unless there's a reduction in students, yes.
And with the virtual school, it seems like there is a bigger push this year than in years past to push more people towards the virtual school.
Yeah, it's really, part of it was just education. A lot of families thought when we moved from face-to-face to remote, that the remote was virtual school. It's not. We have a whole separate school called Seminole County Virtual School, and we just want to educate families that that's out there as a part-time and as a full-time option for them, elementary through high school.
Well, I know you said that school's probably never going to look the same
Yep.
in February and March, but you've been in education for a long, long time.
Yep.
Stress how important it is that at some point we have group learning, face-to-face learning.
Well, as I've said from the onset, nothing replaces our great teachers and what they do face-to-face. I think education will never, ever look the same. I think we're going to have more parents who want remote and virtual options, and we will offer those. But I can also tell you, for all of us, we've all been staring at screens so much. I miss being around people. I was looking forward to coming here today just to get off the screen for a little while, right? And I believe our students and our teachers, our administrators feel exactly the same. There is a social need, and an important part of education is the social part of it. And I think our students miss it, and I know our parents are anxious to get back to as normal as possible.
Following the announcement, I think it was last week or early this week, about the fireworks in Orlando, does the county have anything to
So the question is, does the county have any input on 4th of July festivities and activities with Red Hot and Boom? That's a City of Altamont Springs operation, has been. Frank Martz, who's the city manager over there, and Pat Bates, the mayor, have done great work over there in helping fight the COVID-19. My expectations would be is that, knowing them, they're going to study this very closely. They'll rely on any orders coming out of either federal or state levels, and then advise all the community the safe method in which to take place, whether that's a virtual type Red Hot and Boom. I've seen those types of things being discussed, not necessarily in Altamont, but in other municipalities around the country. That discussion is now happening. Of course, as we start Memorial Day, which is right around the corner, today is the day that you should lower your flags to half-staff. The governor put out the order as a reminder today. Seminole County will have a memorial service over at the Sheriff's Station with the Heroes Memorial, and it will be done virtually. There'll be a small portion of staff personnel there putting on the program, as well as some veterans, but that will be done virtually as well. As we get into this and all these festivities, we're going to see a big change on how we conduct business. But we owe it to those men and women that gave everything for this country to celebrate them and recognize them on Memorial Day. So I would ask that all citizens at 3 o'clock on Memorial Day just take a moment of silence and remember and be thankful for all the things we actually have here to enjoy. I also want to say that a quick update, we've done about 11,000 tests so far in Seminole County. We're running about a 3.8% positive rate. So again, I thank the community for doing great work in helping flatten the curve. If there's no further questions, we'll turn this over to Freddie Gonzalez, who will give our Spanish interpretation. Freddie, thank you very much for doing this on behalf of the county again.
Buenos días, este es el resumen en español que vamos a estar dando de lo que discutió hoy en esta conferencia de prensa en el 14 de mayo del 2020. El comisionador J. Zembower empezó agradeciendo al supervisor de oficina de elecciones del condado de Seminole, a donde estamos localizados en este día. En continuar agradecimiento a los residentes del condado de Seminole por sus vigilancias. Se mencionó el condado de Seminole ha aprobado más de 11,000 personas en nuestra comunidad, y en eso hay 3.8% de esas pruebas son positivas. Las pruebas se continúan hoy en la Universidad de Seminole State con Allied Health. Hoy será el último día en pruebas móviles en este sitio. Estamos esperando un tiempo lluvioso y con tormenta más tarde esta semana. Eso porque no podemos continuar los sitios móviles en este lugar. Pruebas móviles los sábados está disponible hasta el fin de los mes gracias a Clínica Musulmán Americano y a la Farmacia Buena. Pueden conseguir los locales y las horas en la página prepareseminole.org. También querían tomar un tiempo de agradecer a Allied Health, True Health y a la Clínica Musulmán Americano por la asociación por estar operando los sitios de pruebas en el condado de Seminole. Estas agencias son organizaciones sin fines de lucro, ayudando a promover la salud pública, y estamos bien agradecidos por su trabajo para nuestros residentes. Nuestra página de internet también tiene información de más de 20 proveedores privados ofreciendo pruebas de COVID-19 y pruebas de anticuerpo, si no pueden llegar a estos sitios de pruebas móviles. Continuamos apoyando nuestras instalaciones y proveedores de servicios de salud y agencias de primera respuesta de largo plazo con el PPE. El PPE significa Equipo de Protección Personal. El condado ha repartido más de 316,000 máscaras de procedimiento y 37,000 máscaras de N95 y 170,000 guantes con otras cosas adicionales. El condado de Seminole no cumplió los criterios de clasificaciones de 500,000 residentes para recibir los fondos del CARES Act que apoya financieramente el condado en repartiendo PPE y para otros negocios en el condado. Los negocios que necesitan PPE pueden conseguir la lista en vendedores en Florida Central en nuestra página de prepareseminole.org. A principio de esta semana, la Junta de Comisionadores del Condado aprobó $300,000 en fondos para implementar el programa de asistencia de alquiler, hipoteca y utilidad. Nuestra división de asistencia comunitaria usará los fondos de este programa inicial de vivienda estatal del año del 2019 al 2020. Asistencia Comunitario también eliminó el requisito de la agencia continua y perdió de la espera para ayudar a lo que personas reciben la ayuda que necesitan, como mayor rapidez. Información para el programa de asistencia se puede conseguir en nuestra página en prepareseminole.org, que se escribe prepareseminole.org. Después teníamos el supervisor de elecciones, Chris Anderson, que trajo la información de tarjeta de información de votar, que fue enviado por correo a todos los votantes registrados en el condado de Seminole. También añadiendo el formulario de solicitud de boleto por correo. Esto fue sin costo adicional para los contribuyentes. Si no ha recibido su tarjeta, por favor, contacte la oficina voteseminole.org. Hay 3 maneras como pueden enviar su voto. La primera manera es por correo. La segunda manera es votando temprano. Y la tercera manera es votar al día de elecciones. Estarán mirando, estas maneras pueden suceder para las elecciones primarias en agosto y en las elecciones generales en noviembre. Va a estar el procedimiento de saneamiento para las elecciones primaria y general. Eso también incluye separando las cabinas y limitando la capacidad de cada cuarto. Para aclarar, los votantes del condado de Seminole no están acostumbrados a esperar en líneas cuando están votando, pero en anticipación esperando líneas esta vez porque el requisito del distanciamiento social. Para reducir las líneas, están sugiriendo que voten por correo porque nunca hay líneas cuando hay que votar de su hogar. La elección primaria es el 18 de agosto y pueden votar temprano del 8 de agosto al 15 de agosto. La elección general es el 3 de noviembre y se puede votar temprano en el 19 de octubre hasta el 1 de noviembre. En esta hora también mencionó que están aceptando aplicaciones para trabajadores de elecciones. Estos son posiciones de pago que se requiere entrenamiento. Si están interesados, pueden ir a la página voteseminole.org, que se escribe voteseminole.org, y elijan la sección de elecciones y después pueden ir a donde dice trabajador de elecciones y pueden aplicar. Después teníamos el superintendente, el doctor Walt Griffin, que mencionó que han dado más de 13,000 comidas a los estudiantes y 98.5% de los estudiantes están conectados al internet estudiando. Están en reuniones y haciendo planes cómo van a reabrir las escuelas en un futuro. Están viendo los planes cómo van a hacer con el distanciamiento social, cómo van a ser con los maestros y también en los salones de clases. También mencionaron las transportaciones de ómnibus y también mencionaron cómo van a ayudar en el estado emocional. Mencionaron que van a tener una graduación afuera en el 12 de junio, pero si no pueden suceder ese día, la segunda fecha va a ser el 17 de julio. También mencionaron que va a haber un prom el 11 de junio y si no puede suceder ese día, la segunda fecha va a ser el 16 de julio. y van a tener también otra graduación por el internet. El doctor Walt Griffin quería estar bien agradecido con los padres y con la comunidad de estar apoyando y ayudando en esta transición tan difícil en este momento. A concluir, si tienen cualquier pregunta o cualquier información que necesitan, pueden visitar nuestra página de internet que es prepareseminole.org, que se escribe prepareseminole.org. Y si necesitan también, tenemos un número de teléfono que siempre tenemos personas hablando en español que puede contestar cualquier pregunta que tenga. El número es 407-665-0000. Otra vez el número es 407-665-0000. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Freddie, one of our great young employees at our Emergency Management Center. Fantastic stuff. Again, I want to thank the news media for being here today and helping us get the message out to the community. Thank you to all the first line workers, our first responders, and everybody here in the county that's working to make our citizens' lives as good as we possibly can under this unfortunate situation. God bless and be healthy.